Coming up on BCN today, Lethbridge police are looking for a man who they say tried to abduct a 7-year-old girl not once, but twice. Plus, the Alberta government joins a class action lawsuit to recover costs related to opioids. And the federal election is less than a week away. We hear concerns from some of the federal leaders.
Your Canada. Your Southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. Lethbridge police are looking into a report of a young girl who says a man attempted to abduct her on 2 separate occasions.
October 14th, yesterday, police responded to the home in the area of Mount Sumbers Way after a 7-year-old had reported that a male had attempted to grab her through a residential fence. Upon investigation, it was learned that approximately 6:41 p.m., 3 girls were playing in a backyard at the residence when the 7-year-old was approached by and a male attempted to grab the girl by the arm. The 7-year-old screamed, and the 3 girls ran inside to tell their parents.
The man police say they are looking for is described as a white male, dark hair, thin build, a tattoo on his right wrist, and a gold ring with a diamond on his right hand. He was wearing a black hoodie, dark pants, and dress shoes at the time of the second incident on Monday. If you have any information that can help police, call Crime Stoppers right away at 1-800-222-8477. A Lethbridge Police Service member was poked by an uncapped needle while conducting a property search of stolen property. It happened on October 11th when an off-duty LPS member saw a stolen vehicle in the parking lot on Walsh Drive. Police located and arrested 3 people in the vehicle. As a result of the stop, a large amount of stolen property was recovered. Police discovered the trio had used the stolen vehicle to commit numerous thefts across southern Alberta the previous evening. Accused are 25-year-old Nevada Vandermeer, charged with 26 counts of possessions of drugs, a stolen vehicle, and stolen property. 29-year-old Caden McCrae, charged with 20 counts of possession, a stolen truck, and other stolen property. And Kenzie Anderson, 31 years old, charged with 5 counts of possession of stolen property. All 3 were held at LPS, awaiting a release hearing. The Alberta government is joining in on a class action lawsuit to recover costs related to the opioid crisis. Health Minister Tyler Shandro and Justice Minister Doug Schweitzer made the announcement Tuesday. The action is brought on behalf of all provincial, federal, and territorial governments that have paid health care and treatment costs related to opioids dating back to 1996. The province says last year there were close to 800 opioid-related deaths and 4,200 calls to emergency services in Alberta. The very first downtown redevelopment project using the city's targeted redevelopment incentive program announced that they will soon begin construction. Ainsley O'Reilly discovered how much of an impact this facility will have on future projects in Lethbridge.
So from a private investment standpoint, the downtown has not seen an investment of this size or magnitude in almost 20 years.
The historic investment is coming from 608 Health. The multifaceted healthcare company has put down nearly $5 million into the new facility, taking advantage of the city's new municipal tax relief program.
I think it goes into, following the public investment. The city has invested a substantial amount of money into the downtown through the park and ride, through 3rd Avenue reconstruction, and through tax incentives and other incentives like the Main Street program, housing program. So the city's put up money to say that it's important, that it's a vibrant place, and now the public investment's starting to follow suit.
For Mayor Chris Spearman, it's out with the old and in with the new.
Redevelop the downtown, take a look at some of the buildings that are here already, and how can we maximize their potential. So we have buildings like this that can be 50 years old and they can be given new life. Some are even older. We see this building and others as potential ways to revitalize the downtown.
The Targeted Redevelopment Incentive Program, or TRIP, is available for projects with a minimum construction value of $1 million. For Bridge City News, I'm Ainsley O'Reilly.
Thank you, Ainsley. Alberta's government says it won't seek a meeting with Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg when she visits. Environment Minister Jason Nixon says instead he hopes Thunberg takes the time to talk to people to learn how Alberta has some of the cleanest and greenest oil and gas rolls in the world. The 16-year-old Stockholm student is currently touring North America and took to social media on the weekend to say that she'll be visiting Alberta in the coming days. Alberta NDP opposition leader Rachel Notley urges the government to meet with Thunberg as part of a larger commitment to embrace climate change as a reality and to then do something about it. We are less than 1 week away from the federal election. Chief Electoral Officer of Canada, Stéphane Perreault, says he released the estimated numbers of electors who voted in advance of the federal election. He says that according to the preliminary figures, some 4.7 million people voted at the advance polls in this election. This is a 29% increase from the 3.6 million who voted in advance of the 2015 election. He says for the first time, advance polls were open for 12 hours each day for each of those 4 days from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. It should also be noted that these are estimates and that not all polls may have reported yet. To vote, people need to be Canadian citizens, 18 or over, and have a proper photo ID. Across the country, Elections Canada hires around 300,000 people to help out on Election Day. The City of Lethbridge will be offering free transit service on that day beginning at 5:45 a.m. Make sure that you tune into Bridge City News on Election Day for Your Vote 2019. We'll have all of the results for you as they come in from across the country. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. An 18-year-old Winnipeg woman has posted a video online saying if she can find time to vote despite a terminal cancer diagnosis, so can everyone else. Madison Yetmus's uncle, Brent Williamson, says it was important for Madison to vote for the first time, but it's unfortunate it will also be her last. He says her time left is measured in hours and days, but she still cast her vote and wants to show people there are no excuses. With 5 days to go before Canadians cast their ballots, almost all the federal party leaders are showing Quebec their love today. Liberal leader Justin Trudeau is making several stops in his home province, kicking things off with an appearance in Montreal and then visiting a Legion Hall cafes and pubs with local candidates as he heads east to Sherbrooke. Conservative leader Andrew Scheer starts his day in one of Montreal's northern suburbs before taking off for southwestern Ontario. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh visits Hudson before traveling to Montreal for a rally. People's Party leader Maxime Bernier is focused on preserving his own seat in Beauce, while Green leader Elizabeth May is in BC. Justin Trudeau says if his government is reelected, it would come to the rescue of an abortion clinic in Fredericton that could be forced to close due to a lack of funding from the province.
A Liberal government will always defend women's rights, including when challenged by Conservative premiers. That's something we know Andrew Scheer will not do. We will ensure that the New Brunswick government allows access, paid for access, to clinics that offer abortion services outside of hospitals. I will sit down with Premier Higgs if re-elected. We had very clear conversations when I was leader and when I was Prime Minister on ensuring that New Brunswick moves forward.
NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is pushing back against the suggestion that casting a ballot for the NDP is dangerous. Singh finds himself caught between a Liberal Party that says voting NDP is a sure path to a Conservative government and Scheer's Tories who are warning against a Liberal NDP coalition.
In Canada, our history is one where so many of the things that we're proud of happened when when people voted for more New Democrats. Our healthcare system was only possible because Tommy Douglas fought for it. The New Democrats and progressives fought for it. When we had changes to make sure that seniors could retire with dignity, pension and CPP and old age security, these were things that were brought in because New Democrats were there. So I'm saying to you, I want to be your prime minister, but whatever Canadians vote for come the 21st of October, I want Canadians to win. And so I'm saying to win, if you vote for New Democrats, we will fight in whatever form the government takes, whatever power the people give us, to make sure we deliver on the things that people need.
Canadian soccer fans are still on a high after Canada defeated the U.S. 2-0 in the CONCACAF Nations League played at Toronto's BMO Field. It's Canada's first win against the Americans since 1985 rather. None of the Canadian players yesterday had even been born back then. The victory moves the team into the driver's seat in Group A of the CONCACAF Nations League A play. In news from across the globe, the southern Philippines has been rocked by a magnitude 6.4 earthquake. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake centered about 8 kilometers from Colombia in the Mandanao region, with a depth of only 14 kilometers. Shallow quakes tend to cause more damage than deeper ones, but there is no immediate word on casualties or damage. We had a lovely Chinook arch above us yesterday, and that means nice double-digit temperatures. I'll let you know if those temperatures are going to stick around. Complete weather details are coming up after the break. Welcome back. Here's a look at your weather highlights for Lethbridge for today and tomorrow. A little bit of cloud coverage coming in there. We got some sunny skies with some clouds, but look at those temperatures. Highs of 17 degrees today with a low of 5 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 15 with a low of only 3 degrees. Not too bad though. But looking ahead to the 5-day, look at all this sunshine coming up ahead for the weekend with this. We're already talking about the weekend. It was such a short work week. Highs of 10 degrees on Friday, highs of 9 on Saturday. A little bit of cloud coverage coming in on Sunday, high of 10, high of 11 degrees on Monday with mainly sunny skies with partial cloud coverage there. Back to sunny skies on Tuesday with a high of 12 degrees. The average high this time of year was 14. It should be about 14 degrees. The average low is 0. The highest temperature on this day was back in 1963. It was 27 degrees. The lowest temperature was minus 11. It was in 1969. The sun rose this morning at 7:54 a.m. It will be setting this evening at 6:40 p.m. I know the moon was still out when I was driving to work this morning, so I'm noticing the mornings are staying darker longer as well. Looking to the west coast there, Vancouver and Victoria, both with rainy skies today, highs of 13. A high of 14 up in Edmonton with mainly sunny skies, sunshine in Calgary as well with a high of 15. Looking over to the prairies, 13 degrees up in Saskatoon with a mix of sun and cloud. They got a chance of showers there. Same thing with Regina. A little bit of scattered showers there with the mix of sun and cloud, high of 13. High of 5 degrees in Winnipeg with some scattered showers there as well. I know they've been having some really terrible weather in Winnipeg. Looking over to our friends on the east, chance of thunderstorms in Toronto, high of 14. Scattered showers in Ottawa, 14 degrees. Also a mix of scattered showers with possible thunderstorms also up in Montreal there. Fredericton, we're looking at sunshine, 17 degrees. Halifax, high of 16. Lots of sunshine also in Charlottetown with a high of 14 degrees. And over in St. John's, Newfoundland, we've got some chance of precipitation there with a high of 14 degrees. That's your forecast. Here's a look at what's happening in your community.
Here's your Bridge City News community calendar. Come out and support a worthy cause. The Blue Rain Ranch Animal Assisted Therapy Foundation Benefit Dinner and Auction is taking place on Saturday, October 19th at the Community Hall in Fort Macleod, with cocktails being served at 5:30 p.m. and dinner beginning at 6. Come dressed in your best Western wear and enjoy live music by Duo Grand Fiddle and Guitar. All proceeds to support access for low-income trauma and abuse victims to counseling and animal-assisted therapy. For tickets, call 403-894-9160. And for event details, visit bridgesofhope.com. Do you enjoy helping others in our community? Volunteers are needed in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat to support adults participating in local AHS recreation and leisure programs. AHS is looking for those who will provide guidance and encouragement to people taking part in aquatics, walking to wellness, and expressive arts. To learn more about this opportunity, call 403-388-6311 or apply online at albertahealthservices.ca. The City of Lethbridge's residential fall leaf collection program is underway from now to November 15th. Residents can call 311 Monday to Friday between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. to arrange for pickup. Leaves must be put in paper yard waste bags and placed in the area where garbage is normally collected. Paper yard waste bags are available for purchase at retail stores throughout Lethbridge. For more information about the residential fall leaf collection program, visit lethbridge.ca or call 311. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.
Here's one for those of you who shop at Costco. Lots of shoppers either assume they are getting a good price just because of the store's reputation or because they're overwhelmed by the crates of steak and vats of ketchup that they can purchase there. Today's Daily Life Hack shows you ways to identify items at the warehouse that have been marked down even more than usual if you just know where to look. On the price tags, prices ending in 97 cents means the product has probably been marked down. Items with an asterisk in the upper right-hand corner are not going to be reordered, and items with non-standard prices like items ending in 49, 79, or 89 cents can be a sign that Costco got a special deal from the manufacturer, which might mean very low prices for you. And that's been today's Daily Life Hack, so happy shopping. Good information for the holidays coming up too. Well, tick season is all year long in Alberta. According to Pippa Goodfellow, manager at Green Acres Animal Hospital, she and other vet clinics are warning people to keep an eye on their pets regarding Alberta's least favorite creepy crawlies.
Tick season in Alberta is year-long because ticks can be active from 4 degrees Celsius and above. So anytime that it's warm, even when a Chinook blows through, there's always that risk that pets could be picking up ticks. There's a lot of really good tick preventives for dogs and for cats that you can get through any veterinary practice in town. Also, the ticks that we see generally in this area aren't the ones that carry Lyme disease. The one that carries Lyme disease is the Ixodes tick that we are seeing some in this area. If you do have a tick on your pet or you find one in the house that your dog brings in, oh my goodness, you can always bring the dog down or cat down to the veterinary practice where they can remove it.
Goodfellow says you can remove the tick yourself or ensure that it's taken to a clinic that will submit it to a provincial program in Alberta where they can identify it. For the second time in less than a year, a delegation of evangelical Christian leaders from the United States accepted an invitation to visit Saudi Arabia and its leaders. Chris Mitchell of the CBN News gained unprecedented access to the event in Jeddah.
The visit certainly made the national news here.
To see every newspaper in this country have evangelicals above the fold, not hiding our visit, but celebrating our visit, this is, to put it mildly, this is historic.
The delegation met with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman on the eve of the anniversary of 9/11. The summit may seem like an unlikely time, but the leader of the delegation, Joel Rosenberg, said there was a purpose behind the timing.
The Saudi Arabia of 18 years ago, that Saudi Arabia doesn't exist anymore. They have made sweeping changes that most Americans, most Christians aren't aware of.
I was profoundly astounded of how much freedoms are being given to women here.
We talk about veiled women, women under the veil, and the country under the veil. And I think there's a veil over people's perceptions in the West.
Rosenberg and the delegation felt it important to be in the room with a voice.
The opportunity to be in the room and build a relationship means you can also ask hard questions. You can ask direct questions. You can engage on human rights issues, religious freedom issues. How can you affect it if you don't have an opportunity to talk to the top leaders.
Nothing was hidden, nothing was off the table in terms of discussion.
Larry Ross served as Billy Graham's spokesman for more than 3 decades.
I think Mr. Graham was a good example of how speaking truth to power and getting accomplished a lot more personally, privately, than you can making bold public statements, critical statements.
To America, I would say that Saudi Arabia is a strong country, very interested in building stronger and stronger relationships with the people in the United States, with the government of the United States.
Only 2 U.S. senators have visited Saudi Arabia in the past year. Rosenberg and the delegation hope other U.S. leaders will seek to meet the country's leaders face to face and see firsthand a sometimes unknown story. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
The federal election is too close to call, but up next, Hal Roberts chats with U of L political science professor Dr. Jeffrey Hale to get his thoughts about who may become our next prime minister. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us.